Hi guys, Al here. I've decided I'm going to start doing a video series just talking about how I'm getting through with my mental health. So I've struggled with depression for years, and during this time of the COVID lockdown and everything, I thought it'd be a good idea just to document how I've been going through and what changes I've made to my life to try and combat this illness that I'm dealing with. Us guys are pretty rubbish at talking about our mental health, and so I was hoping by me opening up and sharing some of my experiences that it might inspire a few more of you guys to actually start talking. Like I say, I've struggled with depression for quite a long time. It's something that's really affected my life in different ways, and initially it was actually something I didn't really realise I had. Everyone's always thought of me as a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. I've got a pretty good life, I've got a wonderful wife, I've got a nice home, good job. I mean, my job is essentially a hobby. I'm really lucky. I go out and I film content, I create graphic design. So really, from the outside, you'd look at me and think, well, what has he got to be depressed about? And if you looked at it like that, nothing. Well, I have a wonderful life. However, that's not how depression works. Really, it's so much more than that. I mean, even though my life is pretty good and I don't go without anything, there's been certain things that happened in my life that have probably had an effect on me that in a big way that I didn't really realise they had. Business pressures or financial stress or even just things like we're going through at the moment, like the pandemic. So really, I just figured getting this down on a video might help myself as well as maybe help spread the word that you aren't alone. None of us are alone in what we go through, and you can never judge someone by what they look like from the outside. So really what inspired me to do this was actually started from this morning. I woke up, it was actually a beautiful sunny day, which is normally a reason where I'm like, oh, let's get up, I'm going to go and take the dog for a walk and enjoy the outside world. But all I could think about was, well, what's the point? I mean, through all this, everything that I love has been taken away. I love to see my friends, I love to see people. I can't get out and film. I can't do any of my hobbies, which sounds like I'm whinging. I know, but actually, it's made a massive impact on me, and I'm really, really struggling. And this morning was the point where I was just like, why bother get out of bed? Why bother having a shower? Why bother doing anything? And as soon as I start thinking like that, I start getting these feelings of utter self-hatred and, well, why am I here? What's the point of me being here? So over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been through various things in life, just like everyone else has. I've had business troubles, I've had financial worries, feelings like I've let my family down, feelings like I've let my friends down in various ways. And I would always find the first thing I would do would be like, right, well, let's go for a pint. That'll make everything better. I've got quite a few friends at my local pub, a really lovely local pub where people are caring and they look after each other. So I always saw that as a place of kind of shelter, and so I would go there all the time, at the worst points 4 to 5 days a week. Initially it just started off as, oh, I'll have a quick pint and a chat with some people, which actually isn't the end of the world and did make me feel a lot better. That then started slipping into, oh, I'll go for a couple of pints after work because I deserve it, or oh, it's been a rubbish day, so I'm going to go to the pub and that will fix everything. And gradually it went from 1 pint to 2 pints to 5 pints, to the point where actually I was at the pub more evenings than I was at home with my wonderful wife and my lovely dog and in my beautiful home. And it just really started to get on top of me. Obviously, as you can imagine, this started to impact my life at home. My wife was getting upset about it. She would miss me. In reality, I was missing her, but I don't know where it came from, but I felt like coming home would just bring back everything I was worried about. Essentially, it was just a lot easier just to pop to the pub, and I thought that it was wiping away all my worries and it was the answer that I needed. So before the last COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, I actually made a decision that I was going to stop this, and I did stop, and I stopped for the entire lockdown, and I was very proud of myself, and I was kind of like, oh, you don't need alcohol, and I lost loads of weight, I got fitter. I just started to feel better inside myself, and weirdly enough, the last lockdown actually kind of helped me. The sad thing was, the way we came out of lockdown, almost this kind of big celebration. Oh, we can go and see people again. We can go back to the pubs. We can go back to restaurants and stuff. Sadly, I let all the old habits come back in. So it all came to a head where I got far too drunk, obviously, and basically got so down that I didn't want to be here anymore. I took myself off to a bridge over the M20, unbeknown to my wife or friends, and contemplated taking my own life. And it was horrible. And I was very close to doing it. And you could say, oh, it's just an alcohol-fueled thing, but alcohol was the thing that led me to that point, and using it as a crutch to hide how I'm really feeling. And the way I'm really feeling is that I hate myself. I think that I'm ugly. I think that I'm selfish. And I struggle on quite often to get rid of those feelings. So as you can probably work out, I'm still here. And I've started on a new journey of self-recovery, not just not drinking, but trying to think more positively. I've thanks to my wife, I've changed my diet. We're eating better. I have cut out the alcohol. I've still got some things I need to sort out. I guess the point I'm trying to make is even through all these changes, depression isn't going away. It's an illness, and it's something that's affecting me a lot still, even with these positive changes. So I'm hoping that through doing this series, I can start documenting new things that I'm going to try and do to make myself feel better. One of them being talking to you guys, and perhaps going out for some nice long walks so I can clear my head. I'm going to look into some different apps that we can use to help with sleep and perhaps some meditation. I'm hoping once this COVID thing is over, or perhaps even just via some Zoom calls, to interview some friends about things like meditation or exercise and how they get around their mental health issues. So yeah, I mean, this is just a little intro to kind of explain what I'm going to be up to. If no one watches it, it doesn't really matter. It's helping me anyway. And if people do watch it and it helps you, then let's start a conversation. Hopefully some of you guys will record your own journeys, especially through this difficult time of this next lockdown. Anyway, cheers guys, and I'll be back soon with another video.